welcome back to the now called Shadburn Show. I know it's a change of pace because you're hearing a different voice, but that's okay, you know? Sometimes I pop in. So we actually wanted to talk about pregnancy so far and just do a little new parent podcast and like recap ourselves and get to just talk about this like with each other and then also share how we feel about it. We're not really giving any advice at all. We're just talking about things we've learned and might possibly want to do. And so all of it is subject to change.
Yeah, we're literally just playing it by ear and figuring out the questions as we go along.
Yeah, we don't know what to ask in some cases. So, yeah, anyways, it's just Drew and I, and our dog Booker is in the background. So if you hear weird noises, he's chewing a bone.
If you hear just a violent crunching, it is our dog going to town on a cow hoof.
And we're trying to get through this before he finishes it and comes over here.
When he gets bored, he's going to come up here and he's going to take over the show.
Yeah.
So, well, we're going to ask some questions basically that most like new parents would probably ask, and then we're just going to kind of try to answer them ourselves from basic instinct. And honestly, this is more of us just kind of putting out there what we think we ought to be doing. So this is more of, hey, if you're a parent and you listen to this podcast and you hear us say something horrifically wrong, please reach out to us.
We're not too prideful to say like, oh,
before we do anything completely irreversible.
Yeah, seriously. So, I just Googled, me and Google, I feel like every time I get on your podcast or on, is it safe to say our podcast or is
babe, we are one.
I feel like it's yours though, because I don't know. You're very gracious to invite me on and we have fun on it, but it's still like.
It is the Shadburn Show now. And
it is.
You're a Shadburn, so.
Well, I don't want to take any credit for anything that... Actually, you know what? I've made this podcast what it is.
You've definitely helped my style a little bit. You've told me, hey, be sure to not drag on in such a monotone voice and be a little bit more uplifting as you yawn.
Okay, so I'll just let everyone know before we get going. I've had a lot of back pain recently, and that's just been weird. And then also, I get this one specific spot on my left rib cage that I feel like cramps up. So it's either that or it's the baby, like. But I think it's a cramp. It's weird.
One thing that I've noticed is some of the symptoms you go through, I go through as well.
Yeah.
And you were trying to tell me that apparently this is a thing where husbands will experience the same symptoms their wife do sometimes because it's like a sympathetic response.
Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Keep going.
I promise you're going to sneeze right when I get to my point.
It actually went away.
But, yeah, so like in the first trimester when you were nauseous, like every day, I would come home from work and then I'd see you and I would immediately get nauseous. That kind of sounds like I like look at you and then I get nauseous.
Yeah, geez.
No.
Tell me I'm ugly in just a more precise way, please.
No. I think I was just having a sympathetic response to, some of the things you were going through. And literally this last weekend I was having back pain too. And I mean, granted, I was walking around doing something that I hadn't done in a while. And I got back pain from nauseous. That. I haven't gotten nauseous, but neither have you.
I haven't either.
So, I could basically be going through the same thing. So,
yeah.
Well,
okay. Shall we jump in?
Yeah.
Also, sorry to everyone listening. I have allergies or a cold or something as well. So
it's that time of year, so everybody gets it.
Okay, so this is balancingtheboons.com. I have no idea what it is, who wrote it, what it's about, but they have some cool questions. So I just clicked on it. So this is about the pregnancy stage, and here are just questions that are basically like what new parents should ask themselves. So we can go ahead and just like ask each other and like talk about where we've Sorry, where we've like concluded so far. So, here's just a very good basic one that I feel like you will answer. How will mom and dad maintain a healthy lifestyle during pregnancy and afterward?
My immediate go-to answer is literally scheduling the good times, So, I mean, schedule intimacy, be sure to schedule fun, be sure to schedule quality time, be sure to schedule, serving one another in some way. I really hope, let me cut through this real quick. I really hope you guys can't hear an animal just salivating over a bone right now, because it's disturbing.
He keeps bringing it over to my lap and chewing it in my lap. He wants me to see it.
He misses us.
Anyways, okay.
So yeah, to answer that question though, I think, scheduling that time, scheduling the good times essentially would be my go-to answer for, how to make it through a complicated season of, carrying a child for 9 months, and then also the first year where the baby is like incredibly high maintenance,
Yeah.
So one thing that, has been such a great thing to kind of remember is my mom and stepdad live like 2 minutes away from us, and my mom is already obsessed with our baby. She's bought little Cadence,
mainly like Carhartt,
like
stuff.
all these
It's
little
so
pink
There's
clothing
like pink
items.
Carhartt overalls that she got, and I would wear them.
Yeah. So
Okay,
my
dude.
mom's obsessed already. So I'm pretty sure that, at some point, me and you are going to have to take a weekend together, and we're going to have to, reconnect and just decompress and get some one-on-one time and everything. And
Yeah.
I don't have a doubt in my mind that luckily my mom will babysit for free.
Yeah.
Because she's already obsessed.
I know. Well, which side note, we need to do a baby moon. We need to plan that.
A baby moon?
Yeah, like the...
Oh, like a honeymoon from our baby? Or...
No.
Oh.
What was the other thing you were going to say?
A honeymoon with our baby?
No. Oh my gosh. I was hoping you were going to be right. And I was like, dang it. So it's like before the baby is born, it's like our last little getaway together. And Booker, oh my gosh, it stinks. It's a cow hoof.
Ugh.
Okay. Anyways, that's a great answer, babe.
Okay, cool.
I was thinking like healthy food wise, but we already eat pretty healthy, and honestly, I've done really well with like things I probably shouldn't eat a whole lot. Like the whole first trimester, I didn't drink any coffee at all because I actually had an aversion to it. I just took a sip of coffee one morning knowing I was pregnant, and I felt nauseous, and I just did not. The caffeine was almost too strong for my stomach at that time. So I didn't drink it for the first trimester. And there were times I wanted to, but I was like, I don't want that dependency anyway. And I like fasting coffee as it is. But now I drink a cup a day. So, but really, like, you and I have different ideas of eating healthy, I guess. But I've really just been satisfying my cravings left and right.
I think it's pretty much okay to satisfy your cravings while you're pregnant, just as long as you kind of you're covering your bases almost,
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not taking. Okay, people are probably going to be like, but I'm not taking prenatal vitamins.
People didn't before it was invented, so
There was a time when it like was pushed. And everyone was like, do it. It's like so important. Do it.
yeah.
And then my doctor said, like, I didn't take prenatal vitamins with any of my kids. They're fine. Like, you just have to make sure you're getting enough iron and calcium. So I actually do take iron and calcium gummies. I hate taking any form of pill, really. So I just make sure that I take those. But really, I feel like this is just strictly my opinion. I feel like my cravings in a way tell me what I need. So like if I'm craving fruit, I think I'm needing water.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm dehydrated.
Or like glucose, like certain good sugars.
Yeah. And what else sounds really good?
Sometimes
like
you get
applesauce for some reason.
Yeah.
And ironically, like I could eat that whole it's like a half gallon of
Ben
or
and Jerry's.
a quart. No, it's a quart of applesauce in the fridge.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could eat that whole thing. And ironically, like pregnancy causes constipation and applesauce helps that. So it's just kind of like cool what my body's.
So you're kind of naturally, like your body's in like turbo drive of finding the foods that you're kind of needing the most and just giving you that craving.
Yeah, I feel like that, but I just kind of like listening to my body and figuring it out. Okay, should we go to the next question?
Yeah.
I keep hitting this. I feel trapped behind the microphone.
Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Always navigating technical difficulties here on the Shadburn Show.
Drew, will you read books, take a class, watch YouTube videos, etc. to prepare for the birth of your baby?
I'm like 5 podcasts deep in like just being a dad and being a delivery coach and taking care of a baby. Like I learned this years ago though, and this was before cadence was even a twinkle in my eye. That little technique to wrap up a baby like a little burrito, and then you hold the baby to where like they're facing down, so like they're like if you're holding them with your bottom hand is holding their stomach and their head is just kind of facing down while they're crying, and then you just kind of pat their back like that.
Yeah.
If they're swaddled and tight like that and you're patting their back, they just go to sleep.
Yeah.
They love that position. And I literally my little nephew like / second cousin Finn, when he was just a little baby, he was crying and I was over at Cameron Olivia's and I was like, hey, can I try something real quick? And I threw that move on Finn, and needless to say, they were impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in clutch. I taught him a little something. So yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of fun to learn about that because, I mean, there's all of these things that you can do to like not only just love on your child, but you know, give them like a healthy regimen of good development, you know?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking like, okay, so it's like you want to love on your child, right? But you don't want to just sit there and just do the peekaboo game all day. You know what I mean?
But what does this have to do with the question about, this is about birth.
Purely about birth? Okay. Well,
like
no, I mean, I haven't.
Pregnancy and birth.
Yeah, I'll read that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was more kind of talking about like after you give birth and stuff, like all the things that can be done. Because I mean, you know,
I get you. That's just,
I could learn, you know, some stuff about the birthing process and how to be a good coach. Is he serious right now?
Stop. He's trying to open the door.
He's trying to get outside.
Stop it, Booker.
Booker,
Quit.
get down, buddy.
So
we apologize for the technical difficulties, but we have a stray animal on the studio. I'm gonna move him while you talk. Okay.
Okay, so I had a doctor, and now I switched over to a midwife, and I love that. It's really cool. It's like a team of midwives at the hospital that I go to, and she was telling me about this link that they have on their website where you can watch out for like different classes, and so I'm definitely wanting to do that. It's just they're hard to get into apparently. And they fill up really fast, especially since COVID. So everyone's like able to watch it online. But they have classes actually for the partners, but so specifically in this case for Drew to be like a coach, a birth coach so
I would totally do that.
Yeah, like I thought about a doula, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So I talked to some doulas and like figured out like what they do and what they're really there for you for. And then I talked with my midwife about it, and I realized if I'm not completely sure if I want an epidural or not, like I'm not 100%, yeah, natural birth all the way, then I probably don't need a doula.
Yeah.
Because if I do get an epidural, then that would be awkward if she were just sitting there and like staring at me while I'm like literally laying there numb.
Yeah.
So I just think it would be great for Drew to be the one that's there. And plus, like, I feel like that would just get you more involved and you feel like you have a role.
I would hate to be standing there like with kind of nothing to do.
Yeah.
Because I would definitely be feeling like I'm in the way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to mess something up?
I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to...
I want to have like a role. I want to
Yeah.
have like, even if the doctors and nurses are like, here, hold her hands and tell her to do this. Or
like, I don't want it to just be all women just like ganging up together and then you're just on the side like, okay, what can I do? Like, it's your daughter. Like,
or just watching in fright.
Yeah, I want you to have a part in bringing your daughter into the world. So,
Yeah.
And I know you would be really good at helping me through that. Is there anything else you want to say about... Well, books-wise, I've heard What to Expect Before You're Expecting. I feel like that's a good one to read.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself reading that, honestly, between now and then. But I might. I'm not decided, honestly.
I would probably read the Spark Notes on that.
Yeah. Okay. Childbirth. This is specifically childbirth. Do you want to talk about why we decided hospital? Because this question says, will you have a home birth, go to a birthing center, or have a hospital birth?
Yeah. I don't want to offend anybody that listens to this show who has ever had just a home birth or like just a midwife or something. But I'm just kind of leaning more in the direction of what is the absolute best of the best, you know? Or not even that, but like what has the least what has the least, I guess, sort of mistake ratio, you know?
Yeah.
Which method has the least mistakes and has the typical best outcome? Let's do that. And it's not this, I don't want to kind of do something that would feel nice or feel good. I'm like, no, what's, you know, on paper, what is the best here?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that kind of. And I'm a little bit more rigid about that. And that's just me. So.
I always thought it would be really cool to do a home birth and like do a water birth, you know? Mm-hmm. So maybe down the line.
I would even be down to do a water birth at a hospital. But it's like with doing a home birth, if something goes wrong, we're going to the hospital. Booker, no sir. Come here.
He wants to go outside.
I know he does.
Yeah, maybe for the first baby though, we should stay in a hospital. That's what like I would be fine even if it was my first baby. I would be like, yeah, I mean, if I had like trained women around me and you were supportive of it, I would want to do that because I don't have to pack anything to go to a hospital and I don't have to lay in this super uncomfortable bed. And once I give birth to the baby, I have everything that I need there, and then I can go lay in my own comfortable bed. And you can just be right there. And like recovery starts like really at home. That's where you're at home, you're resting. So it's like, I just love that idea. But I'm fine with going to a hospital also because, you know, like you just never know what's going to happen.
And I'd rather just, we're going to be so scared our first time.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
Like we're going to be terrified. We're going to just kind of be like, okay, like somebody help, just please just tell us what to do. And we're not going to want to just put that in the hands of people that that don't have their PhDs, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, there's some really good questions left, but I feel like this is a good point to segue into how we feel about being pregnant and literally like our life is going to change so much come July.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Drew, I guess I'll just ask you, like, how do you feel like your mindset is changing, or has it changed? And how do you genuinely feel? Like, I know for me, my feelings fluctuate every day. Like, one day I could be really excited, and one day I'm like freaking out. So, yeah, where are you at?
My mentality, like, ever since I had like hit that golf ball and it burst into pink powder, kind of just switched to this. What can I do today to like give my family the best life possible? And it's just like, that's just the center of every decision, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just don't want to kind of mess around with like, you know, what am I wanting to do, all this. And I know that it's okay to like, you know, still be passionate about something that you're personally passionate about. Mm-hmm. But I am just in such a mode of living my life for my family right now. And like, this podcast is the brink of my personal passions, because even like with this podcast, I'm still like justifying in my mind that our kids would watch this one day and learn about us and learn about our development as a married couple and as parents and get to know us better. But like, also it would teach them something and give them a reference point and a perspective of like maybe where they're at in life and something they could learn from this.
Yeah.
But
we're kind of already learning a lot about needy children with this dog.
Let me see if I can just get him up here. Come here.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna sit here, okay?
Wonder if he'll speak. Speak.
You're gonna sit here.
He won't
on
do
the
it right
podcast,
now.
okay?
Speak. Speak.
For those who are listening, if you watch on YouTube, you'll see that our dog Booker is sitting with us here at the
Speak.
podcast area. But no, he thinks you have a treat.
I know, I'm trying to get him to speak.
Well, I don't want him to lunge across here and knock all the equipment over. But
okay.
What about you, babe?
Well,
Same question.
I feel like that was a short answer, but I know that he was probably distracting you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As of right now, there's not much else to kind of give on that, because I'm in a.
Oh my gosh! You know what dawned on me is that, like, I feel like as a mother, there's so much more to think about. Not that dads have it easy. I don't think so. But we have to go through birth. So I think about birth and I think about postpartum and everything my body's going to go through. Everything my body's going through now and everything my body will go through after the baby. And like, for some reason, God created it that I be the provider of basically this baby's life. Like, I'm supposed to like get milk within like a couple days of giving birth, and that's supposed to be the baby's main source of nutrition.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary to think about, what if it doesn't come in, and like, what will we do if we have to give the baby formula, and what if I do have a C-section and I don't want a C-section? And I just think about so many things. Like, I think about birth, how it will feel, what that will be like, postpartum, and how I've heard that honestly sucks. And I mean, for everyone it's different, but it mainly sucks. And even now, like, I can tell like things are getting harder physically. Like, my back hurts more, and like I can't bend over as much and pick stuff up.
Yeah.
And getting in and out of bed's actually kind of hard. Yeah. And then but how I feel, like, sometimes I'm really excited and I just go in her room and I just like imagine the nursery and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to have a baby. Like,
yeah.
We're going to have a little tiny human that's us. And I think about how crazy that is and how, like, it just wouldn't be possible if we, you know, if it just, you can't make a human without two people. I really think deeply about that sometimes, just like the fact that, like, she's not going to be 100% mine. She's 50% mine and 50% yours. You know what I mean?
And you did all the work.
But I just think that's so crazy how, like, she will look like you, you know? Mm-hmm. I just think that's so fascinating. Like, I'm just thinking about everything in a different light now. In Psalm 139, I feel like I'm living that right now. Like, you knit me together in my mother's womb. Like, I think about that. Like, God is literally knitting Cadence right now. And he, like, one day she'll read that and she'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, I was there. I thought about that. And then, but like, there's days I'm excited, and then there's actually like days I worry and days I'm really afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm fearful, and I fear, like, a lot of things. Like, will I have enough love? How tired will I really be? Will it be one of those things where, like, I'm so tired, but, like, I don't care because I do love this baby so much?
Yeah.
And I also think it's just so crazy how, like, once you give birth to a human, there's no going. Like, once a human is conceived, there's no turning back. Like,
yeah.
That really can't be reversed.
Let's do this. Let's talk about our fears here in just a minute. But I'm going to hit the pause button, and I'm going to let this psychopath outside, and then we'll pick right up with that.
Like, you're physically hitting the pause button?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking wait, it's 9:30? Has it already been an hour?
No. But here, let me go ahead and hit the pause button real quick.
Remember, we only wanted this to be like half an hour?
Yeah.
So I think we only have 6 minutes left.
Okay. Well, let me just hit the pause button real quick.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. We are back for part 2 of our podcast, talking about all the things...
All things baby.
All things baby. All the
Excitement,
questions.
Fears. Worries.
Maybe even
doubts.
misconceptions that we may have, that hopefully you guys will reach out to us and correct if we are going to do something really dumb.
If we're just blatantly on the wrong course.
Yes.
I don't think we are.
I think we got a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But anyway, we are talking about fears right now. That's where we left off before I had to let my psychotic dog outside.
A couple weeks.
At least a week. But yeah, so I guess let's start off with fears. I have a few fears as far as things that I definitely don't want to do or I don't want to happen, but I want to let you tell me your fears first, because I feel like they're going to be in a completely different realm than me.
So I was actually talking with a friend today. My fears and excitements come in waves. Right now, I'm just excited, and I'm not really anticipating anything super horrible or negative. And I'm excited for, like, the reality of having a baby, honestly. And they grow so fast. I think I'm nervous more so for newborn stage, because they're literally so vulnerable and, like, wobbly and dainty and weak. And then I'd say around 3 or 4 months, they get stronger. And I just am waiting. I'm already, like, ready for the baby to be able to hold her head up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gosh, it makes me nervous that you can't do that. So
yeah.
Anyways, I guess when waves of fear hit me, they're usually about birth and the process of that. I know we'll both be scared going into it, but it'll be fine. Like, I have a good perspective on it now. And I was telling you the other day, like, I'm kind of afraid of SIDS. But then I realized, like, she's going to be fine. And
I'm gonna be so jacked up that day when she's coming, because to me the entire time I'm gonna be like thinking to myself like, this is about to be the beginning of the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like this is the day that everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes, period. But not like in a bad way. Not like
we don't need to be super amped up about that.
Not even like that we're even sacrificing anything almost. Because I mean, outside of maybe going to jiu-jitsu less, you know?
No, you'll realize you'll be sacrificing a lot more.
Sleep. But I mean, this is not like, I'm not sacrificing anything of myself almost. I'm having trouble. Let me say this way. If I'm like, well, I still want to act this way, or I still want to behave this way, and it's like I can't anymore, I'm a parent. There's nothing, like, I know that some people do that, but I don't think that's us.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we're not living our lives in a way that we're like, okay, I need to change everything and get my act together.
Right.
Like, we've already been in this rhythm of like, if it happened, it would be okay. And, but I mean, the only things that we've really knuckled down on is finances, and we are really focusing on discipline in our marriage, and that's really good. But I think when she comes, just her being in our life will open the door to ways that we do need to sacrifice more for each other and just in life. But it'll be natural. It's like, I really believe God gives you an anointing to be a parent. Like, he gives you a grace.
Yeah.
And I'm not, right now, just the place that I'm in right now is I'm very, like, steady and calm and, like, ready. And the truth is, there is a lot to worry about when it comes to kids. But I say that with a grain of salt, because you don't need your life to be, like, weighed down by worry.
Yeah.
But it's a child. It's raising a human. Like, there are so many things we need to be careful of.
And there's nothing wrong with a heightened excitement of wishful thinking, almost. Like, I would like to exchange worry for heightened wishful thinking. Yeah. Like, I hope that this occurs. I hope we can do this. I hope I can show them this. And that's honestly, that goes straight into my fears, not being able to give them what they need. And like
what things?
You know, like, so you basically just said you're going to be really kind of, you know, extra careful and afraid of, you know, like you're not going to want our baby to get hurt and stuff. And to me, like, I'm not saying I'm going to be Fort Knox holding that child, but I'll help you with that.
I just didn't want it to block my face.
Oh, okay.
I had it where it's fine.
My bad. But I mean, I'm going to be Fort Knox holding this child, but it's really is the psychological impact that I'll have on our baby and on our child, period, that I think about so often. Like,
you want to instill, like, a healthy mentality, and
yes.
You hope you can give that to her?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it's... I don't blame this sort of thing directly on parents, because sometimes you just
choose how you want to see life.
Exactly, but you'll have a predisposition either way. You know, our child could have a very calm, even temperament, or our child could just be full of chemicals and just a loose cannon. And that's a reality. That's one
thing we don't know what to expect when it comes to her. She could be someone, just her own little person, or she could be like...
She could be the preacher's daughter from Footloose.
Both of us, I would say. I don't really know how I was when I was a baby. Like, I don't know if I was relatively energetic or relatively calm. I know when I was a little older, I think I was like... I don't think I was crazy, but I did have a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. And I know you had a lot of energy.
My mom left me in a Cracker Barrel to go in her car and just cry for how wild I was. Left me in there with my grandparents. She didn't leave me alone. For anybody out there.
How old were you?
2.
Yeah.
That's what she's told me. But no, I want to just instill a healthy mindset to our child, and I don't want to say things to them in passing that they could take to heart and like let that be some sort of thing. Like there's this saying, some person, some famous person, I can't believe I don't remember who said this, but they said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right.
James Dean.
I don't think it was for sure not James Dean. But
what did he say? Live as if you will die tomorrow. Die as if you're going to live forever. No, I'm just kidding. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die.
Is that really what James Dean said?
Something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But this guy was saying, he was like, whatever you think that is possible, it's possible because you think it is.
Okay, but you don't need to psych yourself out too much. Like, I agree sometimes, like, our mind has more power than we think. Like, we carry ourselves and what we believe and, like...
Mm-hmm. But I want to tell my child... I use
this word carefully, but it manifests in our life. And, like, yeah.
But I want to tell my child, like, you can do what you put your mind to. But I also don't want to give them that blind sort of ambition of, like, yeah, just go do it. It's not really like that. It's more like you can do what you put your mind to, but your best option is to be prepared for life. And like, if you want to go do something, I want you to understand how hard it'll be, but you can go do it.
Simply believing in your child is all it takes. Even if you don't know how to get them there, just be like, well, I think just simply believing in your child will bear good fruit, and they'll know, at least my mom and dad believe in me. Yeah.
And I want to leave it up to my child too, to define for themselves what is practical. Mm-hmm. I think anybody that gives you life advice only gives you the advice of what they themselves would actually do. And it's like, if that person is a lawyer, they would only do things that would make them a lawyer. If that person is an astronaut, they do those things that makes them an astronaut. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I want my child to be able to define, like, what to them is practical. And I want to be able to encourage that, but then also give that a realistic approach. And I'm kind of imploding here with all this sort of nonsense that I'm
I'm like getting overwhelmed a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
But you're thinking a lot about later development, and I'm thinking way more about like early development, like within the first year.
Oh my gosh, I just want to make sure she gets like enough nutrients within her first.
She'll be fine. Okay, let's like move on from fears because I'm getting annoyed.
All right. So what are some things right when she's born that you're gonna want to do? Like, I leave that open-ended, but like making memories, you know, because...
Well, first year, I'm not really concerned about making memories with her. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but she's not going to remember them.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like the first year is for us to really just connect with her and make a little family and like create this sweet little rhythm with like having a new family member. Mm-hmm. And she's coming along with us for like the first few years. Like, she's doing what we do, so we can make memories with her. Like, I'm not more concerned about what she's gonna remember until she's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But like for us, of course, I want to do all the fun things with her. Like, I want to take her, so she'll be born in late July. So then the like fall is when we're going to have her around a lot. Yeah. So
I'd like to take her on a roller coaster before the winter though.
That was so funny. God.
I could not say that with a straight face. I really
on the floor laughing.
I really wanted to try to say that with a straight face and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So I want to take her to like the pumpkin patch. Like, take her to
oh yeah.
What's it called again?
Huber's.
Yeah. Hubert.
If Huber's is still open.
Dress her in a cute little like fall outfit. Yeah. I cannot wait to dress her. every day. Like, little girl stuff is so cute. I just can't wait. Like, I've already bought her so many things.
Okay, let's settle this right now. What's going to be her first Halloween costume? I already know what it is. And the fact that I thought of it first we should just go with my idea.
What?
A honeybee.
That would be so
cute. She's going to be a little honeybee.
Gosh. That would be so cute. Yeah. I'm imploding right now. Oh.
She can be like a little honeybee, and I'll dress up like a giant flower.
A beekeeper.
You can dress up like a beekeeper.
I'm gonna be the flower, and you're the beekeeper.
I'm gonna be the giant flower, and I'm gonna hold her, and she's gonna fly around me.
Okay.
That's way more for me.
I'm excited to see, on the real though, oops, I keep touching the cord. I'm excited to see how, like, Gigi, Jack, and Gracie.
When you said Gigi just now, I thought of my Gigi.
Oh, well, no.
But like, yeah, I know what you meant.
I'm excited to see how they all love her. Mm-hmm. Because that just, like, is so comforting. Already I feel this. Like, already as a parent, it's so comforting to see how other people love your child. Because it's like, oh, not all the weight and the pressure is on me, but also, like, you see what I see. Like, you love this little girl like I love this little girl. Because we love her, we want the whole world to love her. We want to see the world light up when they see her, because we're like, isn't she the best thing ever? Isn't she amazing?
I'm excited.
Like, we haven't even met her yet, and I'm like, she's the best human in the world.
I decided I am going to be that obnoxious parent that posts the entire journey of our child on
our
Instagram.
Our Instagrams are about to completely flip.
If y'all just barely tolerated me up to this point, y'all might as well just hit that unfollow, because it's going to be a whole album of how beautiful my child is. But
what if I'm fully prepared for if she looks like a monkey when she's born at first, because newborns look kind of weird.
I mean, well, until they like kind of fill out and stuff.
Yeah,
they look like these
like older
little amoebas. But you know what I'm actually really excited for is her first Christmas, because that'll be like her first gifts before her birthday.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why it's so funny to me, but I'm like so excited to watch her like reach out for like a present, like while her mouth is drooling, and then just like barely gripping like the gift wrap and just kind of pulling it, and like we all clap when she opens it.
I'm excited for baby's first lemon.
Oh, I have a strange feeling she's gonna like them like you do.
But when you're a baby though, like,
yeah,
we don't really like them as much.
If she takes after me, she'll love bacon. Her first piece of bacon. Then she's gonna hold her hand out and just like,
if you all listening aren't watching on YouTube, Drew's face, he's impersonating a baby every single time.
Go check us out on YouTube. You can see the full
live
show.
Faces.
But yeah.
What else am I excited for?
I'm just excited.
I'm excited to see her first smile.
Yeah.
And when she actually starts looking at us, like when she can see us and she's not cross-eyed anymore.
His first word's gonna be mama or dada.
What do you think?
Dada.
Wow.
It's easy.
No, to be real, everybody, I really think she's gonna love Drew like so much more than me, and I'm gonna be there to fulfill all her needs, and then she's gonna be like, thanks, slap me in the face, go run to daddy. Like, I'm gonna be like, I literally kept you alive.
I'm gonna keep the beard nice and full, because her tiny little hands are gonna want to
feel it,
play with the texture and everything. And
all babies reach for your beard.
The babies just reach for my beard, and they just want to see what's going on.
Do you even have a beard though? Let's be real.
I do have a beard. Don't you dare question me. But yeah, I'm excited. There's so many memories.
Okay. I'm also excited for you to get your hair and your nails and your makeup done.
That's way down the road.
Hey, you talked about way down the road, so we're bringing it.
That'll be the 6 or 7-year-old life. Maybe kindergarten.
That'll be the 4 or 5-year-old life.
That's like preschool.
If
I don't
she
even know
likes that
she's
stuff.
into. She won't be even into painting her own nails in preschool. I don't think. Like first and second grade is kind of when they're like,
Dude,
I want to get pretty.
I literally nanny a 5-year-old, and I know she loves painting nails and like doing makeup. And
I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
First year of loving that.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that if we have more kids by then, and they're boys. Can't let their dad see them get all dolled up.
Yeah, they'll see you love your little girl with a compassionate and unconditional love.
They'll be like, haha, dad's getting makeup, and I'll be like, give me 50 burpees.
Let's ask a deep question that I just thought of.
Okay.
What are your insecurities going into parenthood? Maybe just one big insecurity about... This could kind of play into like your fears, but this is more try to target insecurity as a father, and I'll answer as a mother.
Legit, just not being able to give them enough.
Are you crying?
No.
I'm just kidding.
There's so many things that I want to be able to give them, you know, and I don't want to...
Them. I'm only pregnant with one.
Yeah, for right now.
But apparently... We're quote unquote popping them all out right now. Might as well. And I'm like, hey, excuse me.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure I can give them everything. I want to make sure I can give her everything that I want to give her, you know?
Why don't you think, why isn't that an insecurity right now with me?
Shh. No, just kidding. No,
yeah, I'm
it's
still waiting.
Yeah, no, you went and bought yourself some stuff today.
I did.
And
with your money.
The blinds behind you also, they were a gift, right? Yeah.
Okay, so for people that don't know, we had to add a nice $300 to our rent because our dog tore down 3 blinds.
And this was a fun growing moment for us as a couple because you bought them without telling me.
I just didn't think about it. Why you got to throw me under the bus like that?
It's not a big deal. It's like...
You said, I'll be there in 15 minutes if you want me to fix them. And I was like, yeah, yes. So I was tired of looking at blinds that were broken and jagged and hanging from the window because
the repairman ironically had $300 worth of blinds in his shop that he was able to just come install on a whim.
He always has them.
Oh, wow. Well,
he always has extra things on hand when his people need something.
Well, our dog tore up our blinds within the first couple days of us living here, and then you bought $300 worth of blinds right after that. And then shortly after, you asked me if you could get your nails done, and I was like, can you wear blinds on your fingernails? But no, seriously, just not being able to give her enough. So, and that just goes for my whole family, obviously. Yeah. We have an amazing apartment right now. We have practically everything we need. And
we do. We have an abundance.
We do.
We really do.
But we're
very blessed.
As if we bring more lives into the equation. The living space, the food, the education, the experiences, the lessons learned, the quality time. I want to make sure that all of that is well in abundance. And so we'll see how that goes. But
and I think your focus on that is like a huge strength in this family, because that's not something that's not my insecurity, and it just proves like the way God like has designed you as a man and as a husband to think about like provision in that way. Like, am I providing what my family needs? Because I mean, I do think about that, but in a different way, because I just believe I'm designed differently, so I think about it in a more nurturing way. Like, literally my insecurity is having enough love to give.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of interesting right now, if I'm being very raw and vulnerable, this is our first baby. We don't really know what to expect. We'd like to think that we're prepared, but I've heard some great advice that's nothing can really prepare you for your own children. No matter how many times you babysit or are around kids, nothing really prepares you for your own, but it's the most beautiful journey ever. So I'm not afraid of it. I just know, like, we're going to get hit with stuff that we just didn't expect, and that's okay. Like, we're rolling with it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as connected to her yet. And like, I feel her kick all the time. I'm excited for her, but I don't know who she is yet.
Yeah.
And so it's hard. It's really just hard to like wrap my mind around the fact that like she will be physically in our arms soon.
Yeah.
And like just knowing like this baby is mine and like no one can ever take that away. And I just want that like special bond with her. And I've only known everyone else's kids, and I've come to really love like other people's kids, but I want to know that unconditional, like, whoa, like all that love that moms talk about, like when their baby's born, they're like, it just hits you like all of a sudden nothing can come in between you and your baby, and like this love, this unspeakable love just comes.
Yeah.
I just hope and pray that I have this unspeakable love from God, because I know it doesn't come from anywhere else, that I can give her. And like, this sounds so stupid, but I love Booker so much, and sometimes when I look at him, I just want to cry because he's so cute, and I just stare at him, and he's so cute.
I hope he doesn't get jealous of the baby.
I think he probably will, but
that's a
different subject.
The most he'll do is he'll throw his paw up, like, while we're looking at the baby.
Yeah, who knows what he'll do, honestly. That's a different story. But I have, like, thought, and I said to God, I was like, God, I hope I look at our baby like I look at Booker. And I know I'll love our baby more. Like, truly, I know I will. But, like, it's just this, like, smitten love that I don't see her face. I don't see her little fingers. I don't see her little toes yet. I feel them, but I'm like, I don't know who you are yet. And I'm excited to know who you are. But you just got to pop out first. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that she really doesn't have her own personality yet. Like, she may have, but it's like we
don't know. It's our first.
It's literally like, so far, your body's literally just making something.
Well, she kicks and stuff.
And but it's like, that's just like, that's kind of just part of her development, because like
some babies are more active than others.
The declared time of the beginning of life is when she exits the womb and she's in the world. She officially becomes her own independent person. Yeah. So it's still kind of like this thing where it's it's pieces of us coming together, but then all of a sudden she will happen. So it's literally just bits of you and me going, just whirling around, becoming something, and then it'll pop out and it'll be something entirely new. Yeah. And that'll be really crazy.
Another thing that I just thought of, that thing I told you about, like, I wanted to adopt one day because of blank. Yeah. Do you remember what I said?
You didn't want to save a child from that pain, but you wanted to save them from becoming that pain.
Yes. Snaps for my baby.
Husbands listening.
Yeah. So something that Cadence has the privilege of is growing up with us in the family that she's going to grow up in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say painful things won't happen to her, but that's like what kind of saddens me is like, man, we're going to bring her into a tough world. And tough things are going to happen. And it kind of breaks my heart already that like things are going to hurt her.
Well, you talk about also imagining wanting to shield her from those things, but the problem is she has to get hurt.
Yeah, I know. And that's like, we can't control that. Like, that's what kind of breaks my heart is like, she's safe in here right now.
And she'll be safe in our household, you know? Yeah,
or maybe, I mean, we could do hurtful things that we don't realize.
Probably.
But, drop her.
Hopefully not.
I mean, it's going to happen, and we have to that's life, and pain teaches us a lot of good lessons, honestly. But something I was telling Drew the other day is, like, the reason I want to adopt is because, like, I know that there are kids in the world that have experienced such deep pain.
Yeah.
And a beautiful thing about bringing them into a new family, into a new life, is that you can change their perspective, hopefully, and their mindset about their pain, and say, like, it's a gift. And it wasn't a gift as you endured it. Like, pain is pain, and, like, God cried with you, and he felt that with you, and he didn't ever want you to experience that. That was never the will of God, but he'll use it, and his glory and his victory on the cross can keep you from becoming that pain. And so I feel like I've reached a lot of like places in my life where I've recognized where I have a tendency to let my pain lead me, like lead my mentality, lead my emotion, lead my feelings, whatever. And I've realized, like, okay, I need to change that. I need to change my mind about that and not play victim, but like triumph over my pain and use it for God's glory, because I'll never not feel pain. There are things you've gone through, babe, that like you'll still feel the sting of it until the day you die.
Yep.
And your victory is using that for God's glory and saying, like, I'm not going to become this. I'm not going to let it rule over me. I'm going to live from God's victory. Yeah. That's all of ours as Christians. So that's the beautiful thing that we can like fight from, is his victory. And that's why I want to adopt, because I want to save a child from that and from a road that they could potentially travel on. And there's so many people in the world, honestly, that never really get that opportunity to like change their mind about what's happened to them. Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, mental strength, man. It's a thing.
I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up.
I do too.
I think that's just for right now what we're thinking about, what we're tossing back and forth to one another. If you guys, parent or not a parent yet, or hopefully becoming a parent soon, have any thoughts or input on these thoughts that we have exchanged, engage us and let us know.
Yeah. So basically, to wrap it up, we just kind of pinballed. We talked about our fears. We talked about our excitements. We talked about our insecurities, maybe in parenting. We didn't ever talk about things that we think we'll be really good at, but I'm sure there are.
To be continued.
Yeah. And then what else did we say? We just talked about like
just fun little things we're hoping to do.
Yeah, fun things we're going to do. And we also, in the very beginning, I recall us talking about some logistical things, like as far as birth plan and like hospital. So
indeed,
that's some stuff we talked about.
All right, folks. Well, we love you guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.